Like others in South Africa that support the cause, they call for an end to the conflict in the Middle East. The Anglican Church, which has made its stance clear on the issue, was there to show support. It said the humanitarian crisis in that country is escalating.
Right now, the situation as it stands in Palestine is dire. People are dying. Now, after the place has been bombed to smithereens, it's all about them being denied access to potable drinking water, food and medical services, and hygienic conditions. And so people will die, and they are denied access to medical services.
The ANC also joined the peaceful protest.
As South Africans, as the ANC, we know this pain that they are feeling, so we are here to support them, to say that they must stop genocide, they must stop killing children, and also they must stop bombing hospitals. We say they must cease fire, and they must cease fire now.
As much as we'd like to think that things are getting better, it's not getting better. And even though South Africa did take Israel to the ICJ, we need to have more awareness on the ground. We cannot influence what happens on a global level, but we can influence what happens here. We need people to realize that the Palestinians are going through something that is absolutely difficult. We cannot call it anything but what it is. It is a genocide.
What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now!
Those involved say they will continue their peaceful protests until the atrocities in Palestine cease. Segwi Chesi, SABC News, George in the Western Cape.
Still on the Israel-Hamas war, as the world marked International Workers' Day, the current Middle East conflict has dominated world headlines, where more people are calling for a ceasefire in the besieged enclave. Israel declared war against Hamas following the 7th October attack in southern Israel. Meanwhile, the International Labour Organization says decent work, labour rights, social protection and social dialogue are vital to achieving social justice for all.
Salute all our people in Gaza. I salute the children, women and men of Gaza, of Jenin, of Tulkarem, of Nablus, of Hebron, of East Jerusalem, and of every inch of Palestine, which always fills us with dignity and pride. I salute our people in the diaspora who were forced into exile by the barbaric Israeli occupation of our homeland.
This is one of the May Day rallies in Greece, and the current situation in Gaza has taken center stage here. Demonstrators are carrying Palestinian flags, and they are sympathizing with the people of the besieged enclave. In Tunisia, workers and members of the Tunisian General Labour Union also took to the streets of Tunis and voiced their support for Palestinians.
Labor Day this year came drenched in the blood of thousands of Palestinian children, women, the elderly and civilians, and is immersed with the wounds of tens of thousands of those who were rained down on by the Zionist war machine.
I want to say first, I'm so proud of the people of South Africa, of their love for justice and democracy, because they were among the first people to stand up in protest when we saw the atrocities underway in the Gaza Strip, but also in the other parts of the occupied Palestinian territories. So I think South Africa has led in showing the world that you have to speak out, you have to stand up. And now, slowly, the world is coming awake. So I say thank you to our people.
In the United Kingdom, pro-Palestine demonstrators blocked the entrances to the Business and Trade Department in London to protest the sale of UK arms to Israel.
This is where arms licenses that sell weapons to Israel happen, right? So when a Palestinian is murdered by Israel, the weapons that do it have some connection to this place. There's a second reason, which is that workers who work here are trying to organize so they're saying we don't want to be complicit. We don't want to be complicit in genocide. They're organizing to stop that complicity, but they're facing a lot of resistance. So we're here to support them because it is May Day. So we're standing in solidarity with the workers here today.
In Turkey, police pushed and dispersed leftist groups trying to march to Taksim Square after the government banned May Day protest in Istanbul's main square. Meanwhile, regional bloc SADC says this is a special day.
The Southern African Development Community wishes everyone a safe and enjoyable Labor Day, and at the same time urges member states of the Southern African Development Community to continue implementing the commitments outlined in the SADC Protocol on Employment and Labor. The SADC Protocol on Employment and Labor promotes the adoption of minimum labor standards and fundamental labor guarantees to eliminate ills such as forced labor, child labor, discrimination and violence in the workplace.
Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.